Good afternoon. I will give you now a list of all the books you can use to cover all the levels in English. The first book I recommend you is the Objective First textbook and Objective First workbook. Additionally, there's a book from Oxford University Press which I strongly recommend you for the elementary level, which is this one, English File, elementary level. Then for the first certificate of English, I recommend you these books, first certificate textbook and first certificate workbook. Additionally, there's a book for an intermediate level which I also strongly recommend, which is English File from Oxford University Press. For the advanced certificate of English, I recommend you Objective Advanced workbook and textbook. And for the proficiency exam, I recommend you Objective Proficiency workbook and textbook. All of these books are accompanied by CDs, class CDs, CD-ROMs, etc., etc. Now, for listening in English, I recommend you to listen as much as possible to the shows in English that are shown on TV and the news in English. The news in English, there are many channels nowadays that broadcast in English. Let's say CNN, CNBC, Al Jazeera, France 24, Russia Today, the Israeli news agency I-24. Well, those are the main ones in English, because there are others that are broadcasted in international languages. For example, in Spanish, you have Canal 24 Horas, which is in Spanish, and in Italy you have Rai 24, which is in Italian. Okay, and then in Germany, they also have a channel which is called Deutsche Welle, which broadcasts in English. And how can I forget the BBC? The BBC is very important. The BBC, and then okay, those are the main channels you can find nowadays where you can listen to news in English. Aside from that, there are business news channels like Bloomberg, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, in some cases on the internet, etc., etc., which are very good to acquire knowledge in the financial sphere, financial jargon. Okay, that's for the listening. And then to speak, the best thing is to speak with a native person. There are many native people with whom you can speak in English. Me, for example, I was born in the Philippines, and I speak the Philippine. I studied in England and in the U.S. just as well, and I have a mixture of accents when I speak in English. But I think it's correct English. So you can speak with native speakers like me or with any other one. I encourage you to try to use Skype. Me, I use Skype to learn Russian with a native Russian person, and that person helped me a lot to use Russian, because they can download books and material on the web for you, and that's very helpful. And aside from that, with Skype, you can use you can type the words on Skype, and that's very useful for learning other languages. Okay, that's for the speaking. And then for reading, you have many sources of newspapers to read in English. For example, I'm familiar with the Manila Bulletin in the Philippines, with the New York Times in the U.S., the San Francisco Chronicle in the U.S., the Wall Street Journal, um, The Guardian in England, The Times in England, um, the Daily Telegraph in England, what else? Of course, before there was the International Herald Tribune, but that has disappeared, and now it's the International New York Times. Okay, so now I think I've covered all the aspects. I've covered the speaking, the reading, as for the I forgot the writing. As for the writing, the best thing is to read as much as you can in order to acquire good writing skills in English. For example, I read a lot The Economist. I forgot to mention it. The Economist, the best newspaper from my point of view, The Economist, and the Financial Times. Those are the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, of course, and well, those three those newspapers are very good to acquire very good writing skills in English. Okay. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I will make more videos concerning the learning of French, German, and Spanish and Italian. Okay, so see you soon. Bye.